can you see?
Huh?
How can you see?
The Bond Experience says howdy, howdy, buddy.
The Bond Experience says howdy, howdy, buddy.
I guess we're not gonna have the volume. Okay. So yeah, this is kind of a streamed down version. Good thing you have one. Might just be me and you, us and you. Happy Valentine's Day. Percy Gates, what's up? David, how's Valentine's Day? Is Danielle laughing at you, wondering why you're watching the, He says, hi, Mary.
How do you know where this is?
See right here.
Oh, I see.
Bradford DeLuca, what's up, buddy?
Oh, I get it.
Oh, and there's the big giant microphone right in the...
Do you need help? Perfect.
Is that a little bit better?
Yeah, it's fine.
Commuting home, happy for some Bond talk. Danielle is here too. What's up, Danielle? Brian Bueno. What's up, Brian? Oh my God. Brian used to work with me.
Sweet.
Well, Danielle, how's it going? How did I hope we're not ruining your Valentine's Day. Joe, how is it that Bond guys can have significant others that are so much better looking than us? Just lucky, boy. Just lucky. James Bond Complex, what's up, guys? All right.
Valentine's Day is for 10 years old.
It's for Valentine's Day is for 10-year-olds. I thought you meant for us because we're 10 years together.
Oh, yeah, 10 years.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
Lucky man I am. That's a little bit better.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. Thank you. Well, our anniversary is still a few months up, but yeah. 10 years. Can you believe that? How's my sound, by the way? This setup is brandy new. Well, not brandy new, but I kind of had a more elaborate setup ready to go, but we kind of scrapped it. Just decided to play it. Kind of play it by ear.
Stick with the wine.
Chris Robinson, what's up, buddy?
Good sound.
Yeah, we have a question from Mary. I said, what's... What are the best and worst things about being with a Bond fan as big as Joe?
Oh, I'm not sure. I don't have any.
What's the best and worst things about just being with a nerd in general?
Just the geekiness, the geeking out.
The geekiness?
Yeah.
Okay, but we've gone to pretty nice places, right?
Oh, those are some of the good things. We've been to wonderful places.
Russ Miller, what's up, buddy? Oh my goodness,
Hi, Catherine.
What's up? Catherine says hi. What's up, Catherine?
Tell her to
Hi,
drink.
Catherine. Uncle Joe says hi.
Drink more wine and then answer.
Yeah, like I said, we had thank you, James Bond Complex. We had, like I said, I had a little elaborate setup where we were gonna do like martinis and stuff, but honestly, it kind of, I had the last 2 days was crazy work wise, a lot of traveling, a lot of driving, and I just kind of said, all right, you know what, let's just have Valentine's Day. Because again, thank you Bond 25 for being on Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
2020. So I said, look, we got to kick off. It's a year until Bond 25. So it's officially 1 year from now. So 1 year from tonight, all of us will be sitting in a theater somewhere watching Bond 25. And then we're going to walk out and say, well, what did you think?
Maybe
Was
in the
it?
UK.
Was it? Maybe in the UK. I like how my girl thinks. You see this?
It's one of the advantages going to places.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. It's a great advantage going to places.
Royal Albert Hall.
See? Right, there you go. Royal Albert Hall. Boom. There you go. What's in the bags in the back? Well, they're empty now.
Yeah, there's nothing left in there.
Yeah, but we decided since it's Valentine's Day, and I said to Mary, I said, nobody's even going to be watching this, because anybody who's normal is going to be out with their wife or girlfriend, except for us, so we're going to be sitting here doing this. But I wanted Mary to be hashtag Bond25fit. Amen, brother. Amen, brother. Percy Gates will all be ripped, hopefully. Yeah. What was I saying before I lost track?
Bond 25.
Yeah, Bond 25. Yeah, so we'll all be wondering, like, was it good? Was it everything we wanted it to be?
When we step out of Royal Albert Hall.
That's it. We're gonna roll Albert. The credits are gonna roll up, and we're gonna look at each other and say, "Well, what'd you think?" Hey, any thoughts on who should be the singer for the main theme on such a special film? What do you think?
Well, I don't know. You don't like repeat performances.
Oh, that's not true.
Adele.
Adele, I wouldn't mind that.
I really loved Adele.
I did too.
Not a Sam
One of
Smith
my favorites.
fan.
Not a Sam Smith fan. See, I pick them right. Yeah, I mean, seriously, Shirley Bassey has done several. I have no problem with that. So with that in mind, I wouldn't mind a repeat of somebody. When is the mixology episode? Yeah, I'm gonna do a couple of those. I haven't really planned to, haven't planned that exactly.
Sam Smith is awful.
Sam Smith is awful. Amen, brother. Good Lord. I think Sam Smith kind of represents the pinnacle of all of the kind of, angsty Bond stuff. My family, my girlfriend, yada yada, everything's terrible. Hitting a crescendo with that god-awful Sam Smith song. It was like, all right, we get it now. Adele would be awesome. Love it. Who's strangling the cat? Amen to that. Love it. Love it. Everybody like my Casino Royale poster in the background? This is my living room.
Handsome.
Hey, so Mary, what would you like to see from Bond 25?
Oh, I like the, well, you know what? Daniel Craig is my favorite because he's kind of rugged and weathered looking.
Who?
Daniel Craig.
Danielle Craig?
Did I say that?
Yes.
That's too many wines. Too much wine already.
That's all right. We need wine to get warmed up.
You needed wine to get me on this couch.
Seriously, right? Mary's like, what, you want me to do what? Yeah. This is Valentine's Day. Believe it or not, this is my idea of a bonding evening. My girl is gonna do this with me. She's gonna be my partner in crime, doing this live cast together. So here we are. This is my idea of Valentine's Day.
Who's strangling the cat? That's
Who's strangling the cat? So what do you want from Bond 25?
I don't know. I like the original things. I don't like the storylines that we've had. I don't like the whole family thing. I'd like to pull away from that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see him be tough again. I'd like
Yeah.
to see him not care again. I know that sounds ridiculous, but
Yeah, I'm with that. Not quite so, Skyfall. A little less of that. Let's see. I'd like them to make a pun or an inside joke that celebrates Roger Moore. Love that. Absolutely. They totally should. There should absolutely be some Roger Moore. If you think about it, they've spent 24 going on 25 films, and most of them have some sort of a wink to past Bond films. At this point, why not do not an entire film, but, make a point to do a couple that are specifically Roger Moore little winks. I like that idea. Brian Aboyne, how about the Ray Donovan guy? To play James Bond? I'm with that. Okay, I could deal with that. I don't know about... Harris might love that. Viagra might not make you Daniel Craig, but it will make you Roger Moore.
Funny.
Love it. Love it. Let's see. So what else? So yeah, it's countdown. It's 1 year from now. Should we talk about and complain about how long it's been since we've had a Bond film? You know it's going to be 5 years since the last one?
Mm-hmm. Is there some significance that it's opening on Valentine's Day? Does that have any...
That's the $1 million question. My feeling is no. I kind of feel like it was just son of a... I mean, they only... Bradford says yes, absolutely. I'm gonna say no. Some people have wondered, could it? I think, you know, they lost 3 months with Danny Boyle. So I just think another 5 months later was February, and I just think that was a Friday in February. I don't even know. I mean, for all I know, and somebody else can help me with this, I don't even know if Valentine's Day is even a thing in the UK. So that could just be an American thing. Thoughts on when the press conference will be? No, absolutely not. Hopefully soon. I mean, again, it's a year off. So, Mary, do you have a location you wish to travel to? A Bond site that you haven't been to?
Oh, I haven't been to London.
Really?
No, I've never been to London.
Oh, guess what? Okay.
I've never been to Switzerland. I've been to a few places. I've been to quite a few places.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a few.
You've been to Paris?
I've been to Paris a few times, yeah. Yeah, I never took those pictures for you either.
Oh, yeah. Anybody want to hear a funny story about before Barry and I were dating?
Yeah.
When she was going to Paris, this is many, many years ago,
Yeah.
Mary was on her way to Paris. I totally forgot that. You would have totally gotten away with that, too. Mary was on her way to Paris. Mary and I know each other from work. We worked together. That's how we met. And somehow I knew that you were going to Paris. And I said, oh, my goodness, really? I said, well, I would love some pictures. Specifically, there's a restaurant on the Eiffel Tower. If you could take some pictures there, I would just love it. It's called isn't it the Jules Verne?
Jules Verne, yeah.
Yeah, I said, could you go, when you go to the Jules Verne restaurant, would you take pictures? She said, sure, no problem. And she came back and she went, hey, didn't happen.
Yeah, that's true.
She said, yeah, I was thinking about it, but then I said, no, I don't want to because you're a nerd and you have no shot, so why would I bother?
I didn't exactly say that, but...
Any plans for a
close to it.
coffee episode? I've been using a French press for years. Would love to get an Ian Fleming Chemex percolator. That's an interesting one. I never thought of that, but I just might. I am trying to get away from the old Keurig. I got...
During Switzerland during Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice idea.
Any thoughts on it? Switzerland is amazing. Bond experience, yes. Vegas, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I love Vegas too. For sometimes I like the shows. I don't gamble, but it's nice to go for that.
Switzerland during Christmas is unreal. So is the chocolate. I like how people think.
Oh, Vienna.
Vienna, that is something on my bucket list. I would love anything over in Eastern Europe, Prague, the places where they filmed Casino. Forget it. Carlo Vivari would love that. Computer Genius should be on soon to chat. Oh, cool. He's going to come on. He's going to read all the bad reviews from Amazon. My friend Eric, who I used to work with, when he found out I had a book, he got a kick out of that. And we were going to lunch, and he would pull it up on his phone, and he would only read the negative reviews.
Allowed to you?
Yeah. We'd be sitting in the car and crack up because he's reading all of it. Yeah. I think we're all frustrated in the era of Marvel and Mission Impossible that we aren't getting a sense of urgency from the producers. Well said. Well said. I completely agree with that. The urgency is what is lacking. Eric Lightman, what's up, buddy? Speak of the devil. Speak of the guy who used to love reading my rotten reviews. Yeah, but that is the truth, boy. And I swear, I wish I could figure out what it is with these producers. They seem to have kind of a love-hate relationship with Bond. It's, you know, like it's like being in a bad relationship, but you don't want to break up. I feel like they don't feel like doing Bond movies, but they don't want to give it up either or relinquish the, you know. So we're kind of just sort of stuck in this kind of limbo where they just not that crazy about doing it. I think, I could be wrong. I'm an Aston Martin lover through and through, but how about a Bentley being introduced? Classic Fleming, absolutely. I'd be for that. I mean, the Bentleys are beautiful cars, too. So I would not mind seeing a Bentley get involved. I mean, and you know, Aston Martin doesn't have a total monopoly on it because I mean we've had other cars in there with the Astons. I think I know the day comes to mind. Um,
See, I'm guessing the upcoming Valentine's Day release date is strong indication of the film's content.
uh, that's a. I mean, yeah, that's a theory. I don't know that I necessarily. I mean, maybe. Put it this way, we know Leah Seydoux is coming back. So something is going on, right? I mean, they rode off into the sunset. They're still together. So, you know, I think it could be something to that. I think the whole series needs to take a quarter turn. Eric, I gotta tell you some stories, buddy. It's
Thinks that Valentine's Day is to throw people off.
so they'll make it very dark and Loverboy Bomb will be back. That's that and that's yeah, okay. I'd be up for that. I could see that happening. And I think, you know, at this point, that's the only thing they. Well, put it this way. I think what Bond 25 needs to do is to subvert expectations. And, because again, after Spectre, if they're going to bring back Leah Seydoux, the writing is on the wall, pun not intended. You know, Blofeld will escape. But then again, he's not in this one. So, I mean, I guess they're not doing that. Like, I haven't heard that he's in it anyway. But, I mean, I would have assumed that Blofeld was going to escape, kill off Leah Seydoux, and Bond will go out for revenge, go rogue, yada yada. Um, so if they can change that up a little bit, kind of put a little spin on that, let's hope. So I mean, I hope it's not a paint by numbers where we just sort of know exactly what's going to happen before it happens. So, Aston's new concept cars look amazing. So if still them, maybe one of those. The Valkyrie is a collaboration with Red Bull. Okay, alrighty. What is your prediction on how they will close out Craig to introduce new Bond? That's an interesting thought. I don't know. I honestly, I'd be surprised.
What about a monkey playing Dr. No?
Yeah, there you go. We had it back and forth about whether or not that was an actual thing. Apparently, the producers wanted like a trained monkey to play Dr. No or something. And okay. Yeah, I don't know. Will they close out Casino? Will they close out Bond 25 with a conscious decision, knowing that this is Craig's last? Will they kind of work him out gracefully? I'd be surprised if they do. That would be a first for sure. Because even something like Diamonds Are Forever, where they know very well they're not going to get him back for another one, he didn't exactly go off into the sunset gracefully, as if like they knew this was Connery's last. So, I don't know, I'd be surprised. Has Mary ever worn Bond girl clothing or accessories?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
What did you wear?
I have a beautiful necklace somebody gave me.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's the love knot, the Algerian love knot.
Yes.
I love it. It's
Yes.
beautiful. And no, I haven't worn any of the clothes.
I can imagine being in a tux. I can imagine that
Very
too.
handsome.
I'm not saying Rose. Go ahead, Dave. Ask it. Let's see. Ordering one final cocktail and walking out the door. Fade to black. Yeah, there you go. In a tux, that makes sense. It almost like the
Adjusting
final
his cuffs.
episode. Yeah, there you go. Doing the adjusting the cuffs. Almost like the final episode of Cheers when he says we're closed. Would be
Fade to black.
interesting. What else? What else?
What will his final cocktail be?
What will his final cocktail be? Well, I mean, there's only one. There's only one that it could be. Will M come back with the new Bond era? M will be back. M is one of those characters you can't not have. I mean, they kind of did, you know, it's funny, like in Casino, they kind of did without a Moneypenny, they did without a Q, but how you can't go without an M, because who's going to send Bond out on his missions? But it's an interesting thought. So, what else? What would his final cocktail be? Yeah, just a...
I don't know. Is it the vodka martini or is it the Vesper?
Knowing Craig, yeah. Do you still have a landline? I do, because my cell reception is terrible. So I do have a landline. I gotta be careful where I put my camera. Yeah, I do. My cell reception up in the mountains is awful. And the landline, actually, I didn't even specifically get it, because when I got this place and I put the cable in, whatever, I told them I only want internet. I don't want cable. I don't need a phone, nothing. And when the guy came, he goes, by the way, you have the phone regardless. He goes, you just plug it into the back of the router, and he goes, and there's your phone. So I was like, oh, okay. So basically, I got a free phone. So I hope they will never lead the whole team back into the field again. Yeah, I'm kind of with that. They're kind of getting a little carried away with that. And it seemed so forced, Inspector, because, I mean, what did they really do? You had half of the team like just shoved into a car for like one scene where the other car kind of runs them off the road or whatever, and the bullets are flying, and then they kind of never come back again. Like Q shows up at the end to save the day.
What do we have for dinner tonight?
What did we have for dinner tonight, honey? What did we have for dinner tonight?
Shrimp gumbo, my favorite meal that you make.
Ah.
Yeah, it was delicious.
I know how to do Valentine's Day.
How do you feel about a female Bond? I kind of agree with you. I don't want to see that.
No, I again, why make a female spy movie if that's what you want to do? But let James Bond be James Bond. I almost feel like like the producers. If you make one, I promise to go. I promise to go see the female spy movie. And there's been one. There's been several, and that are good. So why? Well, whatever. What did I saw one too. Matt Paulson, I think he needs to show up in a casino again this time. Yes, absolutely.
That is correct. Let's look at what Dave wrote.
I heard Mary is supporting Joe. Yeah. Oh my God. She first of all, she is 10 times better than me. She eats healthy. She eats very healthy. I mean, like oddly healthy. She's at the gym every day.
Every day.
Saturday morning.
Sunday morning.
Sunday morning. Are you gonna get up? Because I'm going to the gym, and I'm like, I will see you when you get back.
Bring a bagel.
But yeah, live and let die gumbo. That's exactly what it was. Yeah. So Mary is incredibly healthy, and she's incredibly supportive and encouraging. So yeah, she is helping me lose the Bond 25. Is what I'm saying.
You have to stay away from the ice cream.
I have not had any ice cream, and no, that's not true. I had a little couple weeks ago, but that was the last time, and even that, like I used to make bowls of ice cream that were this big, and I had like a thing that was like this.
Okay.
Right.
Listen, it's a lot better.
You're my witness, but I have not. But yeah, not only does Bond have to be in a casino again, I would love to see Bond scuba diving again, skiing again, on the golf course again. He needs to do downtime stuff, like the kinds of things that Bond would do. It gets really frustrating when it's just like right out the gate, here's the mission, boom, and he's just on the clock the entire movie. Give me something where, I mean, seriously, the series opens with Bond in a casino just for fun. Like, he's not on a mission, he's just killing time, he's in a casino enjoying himself. So, yeah, we need a little more of that, for damn sure. But what if she's played by Emily constantly in a bikini? I don't know. I actually don't know who that is.
You don't know who that is?
No.
Oh, she's beautiful. More sneaky Bond. I agree with that.
Yeah. Mary is the picture of health. Good role model for you. Big time. She is the picture of health. She really is.
Skiing in Norway seems likely now.
Yeah. In fact, you might not even know this, but apparently one of the locations that are confirmed is Norway. That would be nice. But then again, I had the same idea when they went to Solden for Spectre. I thought, oh my goodness, thank you, we're going to get a skiing scene. No.
And I did know that, by the way, from you and Dave last week. See, I did watch Dave.
Too bad Craig can't ski. Yes, that is very true. Maybe some other sport in Norway.
Synchronized swimming?
Synchronized swimming. I think is what you're talking about, right? You're talking about synchronized swimming? I think he and Madeline are going to do some synchronized swimming. Yeah, another sport in Norway would definitely be welcome. I like that. Something with... Oh, you're leaving clues. See, I don't know if this is like... I don't know if this
Whoops.
is... Yeah. Is this public knowledge? Like, are we allowed to know things? So, okay, little clues being left. By the way, do you see I'm wearing my pink shirt in honor of Valentine's Day?
I have pink on a little bit.
Yeah.
I've had too much wine.
Yeah, but I think we need it though. Maybe next time not as much. When is the next book coming out?
When's the next book coming out?
It is coming. I swear to you, it is coming. It is. I said if I have to grab magic markers and finish it and run out Xerox copies, it'll be done in conjunction with Bond 25, if not sooner. More armies of color-coded henchmen fighting ninjas, space marines types of battles. Why not?
I don't believe you.
I don't believe.
It's coming out soon. He's looking to read your bad reviews.
Yeah. Eric wants to read the bad reviews.
That's funny.
That was actually pretty funny. We had some good, funny times. Live and let die, Gumbo. That's what we had. So true. So he knows.
See, I know too.
Do you want more wine?
More wine? No, but I have to get up a second.
Would you get me some then?
Yes. Told you I had too much.
Hot. What else? Bond 25. Hey, by the way, Calvin Dyson came out with a new video today. I don't know if you guys saw it, where he ranked all of his movies top to bottom, and it was really good. So I would check it out. What non-Fleming book should be made into a movie? I don't know if any of the non-Bonds should be made into a movie necessarily. Maybe Solo. That was okay. I wasn't crazy about that one. I kind of felt, again, it's funny because Raymond Benson really did, and probably no surprise, but he wrote specifically very cinematic stories. Like, he wrote books that I probably was hoping they would latch onto and, possibly make into movies. So his theoretically could work. And I think the one that he did that was really good was High Time to Kill. And I'm Benson was very hit and miss for me, but High Time to Kill was a good one. And I could definitely see that one. That one had a lot of rock climbing in the snow, by the way. That would make a great thing for a future Bond movie. Doesn't Fleming have a few short stories remaining that haven't been used for movies? Yes, but honestly, I personally feel like they really have mined to death whatever they could from Fleming. They did all of the books, all of the titles of the novels, the short stories. There's a couple left, Rizico, but even then, again, they mined a lot of it already. They used they even used most of the titles of the short stories. What's left? Rizico, 007 in New York, which would make a stupid title for a movie. Is there any left, actually? A View to a Kill was done. For Your Eyes Only was done. Quantum was done. So, there's not much. Cary Fukunaga. Thoughts on Cary Fukunaga? Masterpiece or unbridled mess? I did watch True Detective after he was announced, and I thought that was excellent. I haven't seen any of his movies. So, but based on what I did see, I thought, okay, this could go places. I almost had a similar feeling as to when they announced Craig, and I hadn't seen anything that he had done. The first thing I saw was Layer Cake, and based on that, I kind of went, oh, okay. Joe Silac, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Joe.
So yeah, Layer Cake I got kind of excited for. And again, it was pretty edgy. It was a little dark compared to Bond. And True Detective, I kind of get a similar vibe. Like, this is dark, this is edgy. So I could see this going places. So, I'm pretty happy with the director so far. Heard an idea for the plot of Bond 25 on JBR. While Blofeld essentially puts out a contract on Bond and Swan, and all the best hitmen come after them. Now that's interesting. That is very interesting. Um, I don't know. I'm sort of feeling like if Christoph Waltz is going to come back, come back. If they do sort of a plot around the fact that he's not actually in it, then I might be a little not sure if I like that idea. Again, if he's in it, great. Not, yeah. The opening of The Man with the Golden Gun, where Bond attempts to kill M, would make a killer opening. That is interesting. The opening of The Man with the Golden Gun in the novel had Bond brainwashed, and he goes in to kill M, which actually is sort of funny when you read that. Like, that to me seems like Fleming is finally Bond Armory. Happy Valentine's Day, partner. Yeah, the opening of Golden Gun to me was when Fleming sort of like, now he knows that the films are starting to happen, and he's writing with a more cinematic tone, and like he goes to shoot M, and this like plastic barrier drops in front of him, which to me is more Get Smart than James Bond. So yeah, I always kind of felt like, all right, Fleming, like stop writing movies, do your books because that's what you're good at. So what else we got? Yeah, Joe Silac, what's happening, partner?
We need to go on another trip.
We do need to go on another trip. Absolutely. So what else? What was I gonna say? Yeah, Calvin Dyson, boy, that video was really good. And it's kind of funny because I kind of felt like he could have broken that up into several smaller videos, but he just did the whole thing in one shot. It was really good.
What else?
What else? Where would you go for a Bond trip?
Oh, gosh. Well, I'd like to go back to some of the old places. I really like some of the places we've been. I like the islands.
Yeah.
I like
we should do the Bahamas again.
Oh, yeah, the Bahamas. I like the warm places.
The Man with the Golden Gun idea could pick up where Bond supposedly lost his ability to recognize people in the torture chair. My favorite theory is still the idea that after the torture chair, everything after that is Bond's, like, it's a fantasy world, basically. Like, there's a theory that, remember when he was in the torture chair and the torture?
Oh, yeah, I remember
telling
that
people
scene.
that he's going to lose his memory? Yeah. Like, but everything after that, all of a sudden, he escapes with no problem. He takes everybody out with no problem. Blows up the whole base with no problem. Like, I've heard a theory that, like, he literally just did go crazy in the chair, and this is, like, his fantasy world now. Oh. Which I kind of like better than the actual...
that was a rough scene.
Yeah. But I like that theory better than the actual last third of Spectre. So what are we going to do between now and Bond 25 to tide us over?
Well, you're making more videos.
Yeah,
Maybe you'll
more
finish your
videos.
book.
What do you mean maybe? How dare you?
I've only read 2 chapters, so...
Did you read both?
Of course.
I've got an opinion question I was trying to ask. With the success of the Kingsman series, can Bond go back to humorous, crazy gadget style? Wow. It's, you know what's funny? Especially now with the Mission Impossibles that have had no problem getting into crazy gadgets. Like, it's funny, like, Bond has kind of gotten so gun-shy about just being Bond that the other movies are just happy to jump in, and if they don't want to do it, we'll do it. You know, so now you got Mission Impossible with these crazy gadgets. And again, it's kind of like, yeah, but this is, this is Bond territory. Bond should be doing this, but they don't want to.
What's your favorite Fleming book?
My favorite Fleming book. What's your favorite Fleming book?
I didn't read any of them.
You didn't read any of them?
No.
Oh my goodness.
Should I not say that?
You can say it. Have you seen all the movies?
I have seen all the movies.
Definitely.
Hello? You made me watch from beginning to end.
Well, I made you watch a lot of them. I don't know if
Then you made me name all the movies. I couldn't do it in order, but I did. Then
Can
it
you?
was can you do all the Bonds? And oh my gosh, you are a geek.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna torture you after.
No, you're not.
My favorite Fleming book. I've read Casino Royale many times, and that is easily one of my favorites. Honor Majesty's has to be my all-time favorite. After that, it gets fuzzy. Live and Let Die is really good. Thunderball was good. What else? It's easier, probably easier just to rattle off the ones I didn't like, which is not many. Golden Gun I thought was iffy. You Only Live Twice was kind of You Only Live Twice was funny. I've always had a theory that they should go back and just do all the books the way the books are. And then I got to You Only Live Twice, and I kind of went, oh, maybe they can't do that, because I thought that one was a little weird. Okay, so who are all the Bonds?
Oh, come on.
Just give me the 6 official ones.
Oh, well, Sean Connery,
Sean Connery,
George Lazenby,
George Lazenby,
oh yeah, Pierce Brosnan, Roger Moore,
Pierce Brosnan, Roger Moore,
Timothy Dalton,
Daniel
Craig.
Craig. All right.
I'm a geek.
I almost got him in. I thought you were going to do them all in order, too.
You know what? I can't think that
I was like,
straight
oh my
right
goodness,
now.
this is huge From Russia with Love book. Yeah, I love the From Russia with Love too. I was surprised when I read it just how much of that book was spent on the plan. You know, they spend the first like third of the book hatching the plan on how they're going to get James Bond, and he doesn't even like show up until like a third of the way into the movie, which that surprised me. But it's good. I mean, it's a very capable film. But I'm capable film.
Eric's clapping.
Eric's clapping. What's that? Let's see. James Bond complex. That is weak and that is bleak and could be interpreted that way. Yes, it is. That he's talking about the theory of when he gets his head drilled. It is surprising they can't find crazy, awesome, believable gadgets in this tech-controlled world. Yeah, I guess. But I mean, like as you're saying that, I'm sort of imagining like in Casino Royale when Bond was driving with the phone and he had the GPS, but the GPS was like this high tech, you know, it almost looked like the trench run in Star Wars, like where they're, you know, they show him sort of driving down the road. I remember, and that was like, again, the GPS aspect of that was real and pretty current, but the way they sort of did the graphics was like way beyond what we would actually have. So technically they are kind of doing gadgets that are reasonably believable at this point, at least now in the Craigs. I mean, once we got past the invisible car, you know, now the gadgets are, everybody's got his phone, and I mean, he went back to the gun with the, you know, the palm print, whatever. So they haven't really gotten fancy. That and the radio, which is almost like like the radio from Skyfall is almost not unbelievable that it's too far-fetched or too far out there. Unbelievable that it was so like they had to go like 30 years back in time to a radio this big with an antenna when you can have like a chip in Casino, which was far more believable. So that was a little weird. Okay, can you name all the movies?
Oh no, there's not enough time for me to remember them.
Wait, honey, we got all night.
No, we don't. I'll name them later.
You don't think you can name them all?
No, I don't think so. Not right now.
I bet you could.
I still can't get all 50 states, let alone the movie.
I can do 50 states if I have a pen and paper.
And the capitals.
What's the first one?
What's the first one?
First Bond movie.
Oh. I don't remember.
Yes, you do.
I don't remember.
Oh, boy.
Come on, no more drinking.
Do you think the Bond actors are as knowledgeable as you guys about Bond? Definitely not. Absolutely
no,
not.
I don't think so either.
No. I think the Bond actors would kind of be like, remember when William Shatner was on Saturday Night Live and everybody's asking him like at the Star Trek convention and he's like, get a life, will you people? That would be like the Bond actors. I think that like that's Lazenby. Hey, what happened in this scene? He's like, I don't know, get a life.
Yeah. I've learned a lot from just sitting around listening to all of you gab about it. Oh, some of them just live and breathe Bond too.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. There are Bond fans of all shapes and sizes for sure.
Oh yeah.
All levels of nerddom. How's my level?
Over the top.
Over the top?
Yeah.
How's my level?
Yeah. What else? Tell me something I don't know about Bond.
Well, what did you tell me something you learned about Bond recently that you kind of went, oh, okay, like something that surprised you a little bit.
Oh, nothing surprises me.
Nothing surprises you?
No, you know, when you're talking about the gadgets, I have to laugh. I'm thinking, all of a sudden, I'm thinking of Get Smart and all the
Yeah.
phone shoe and all
Yeah.
those kinds of things. They were fun, but I can't see Craig doing any of that.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, seriously, when I read in the book, when the thing came down, I said, gee, remember the cone of silence in Get Smart? I got a great story about Pierce Brosnan. All right, tell me over lunch one of these days. We got to get together. Well, Dalton said he read the novels. Actually, that's a great point, too. Dalton was one of the few. Maybe that's not entirely fair either. Dalton said he read the novels, and I absolutely believe that. He might have a few things to say about Fleming. Brosnan is funny because when you heard him talk, he never mentioned Fleming. But I do believe he was a fan of the movies. I mean, he always talked about Goldfinger, and I think he referenced a couple other movies. So I do think that they do have. Some of them have had a little more of a passion, I guess. I mean, Connery was the first, so he probably met Fleming, and but he probably didn't read the books necessarily. But then as you go on, yeah, Dalton was more into it. I think Brosnan, I think, was a fan of the movies. That's about it though. I think Craig could kind of take it or leave it, frankly. I think Craig kind of came. I mean, I've heard, and I mean seriously, if you ever listen to my podcast, the opening is Daniel Craig saying that he wished he was James Bond when he was a kid. I kind of wonder how true that is, but I think regardless, I think today I think he's looking at it far more as just an acting job. So I don't know.
He's got no humor.
Mary says he's got no humor. Have you seen any interviews with Cary Fukunaga? I have not, actually. That's an interesting question. Yeah, no, I have not. And as you're asking, I'm thinking to myself, like, are you asking me if I've seen him interviewed about Bond 25 specifically or otherwise? Either way, the answer is no. But that's an interesting question. I'm curious to see what his thoughts are, actually. Love to Get Smart. I used to watch it on Nick at Night when I was a kid. I mean, seriously, who doesn't love Get Smart? It's a great movie, just in general. Yeah. No, I don't think I've ever seen him interviewed, so that would be a no. Okay, here's a question for you guys. Anybody who is missing out on some Valentine's Day plans? Am I ruining somebody's Valentine's Day by being on tonight?
Yes, mine.
Mary said, yes, mine. What are you doing anyway?
I'm talking to Amanda.
Cary Fukunaga's long tracking shot from True Detective. Yes! There's a one shot. That was good. And elaborate and full of action. Wow, was that good. That was a nail biter for sure. So what else? Let's see. So yeah, more videos are coming out. I have a video that was supposed to be finished last week, and it really got, it's a big one. So I have to finish that up this week. I'm going to try to get it out Thursday. Wife is about to burst, Bond Armory. Working on a project that you helped with. You're very welcome. Just got Ellie to sleep. Cool, very cool. Tell your wife we said hello and good luck. Let's see. James Bond Complex, single this year. If he does that in Bond 25, hopefully it's different than the opening of Spectre. Yeah, that's interesting too, because they did sort of just do that in Spectre, so I'd be surprised if they did that again. But maybe more, maybe not that long, maybe not even a big noticeable one-track shot. But I could definitely see him doing longer takes, for certain action shots. That would be pretty cool. Let's see. When are you cutting out during your Get for Bond 25 workouts? Oh, what are you cutting out? What are you cutting out to get for your gym? I've cut way down on my sugar. I'm trying to cut down altogether. I'm sort of like my first coffee of the day is usually I have sugar in it. After that, I usually go for black coffee, trying anyway. I'm cutting out a lot of junk food. That's for damn sure. Alcohol. I mean, my alcohol intake is so much less than it was. It's almost none. It's just on special occasions, as you can see. But yeah, it's definitely gone way down. What does being James Bond mean? That's a very large, complicated question. Not an NYC. Say hi to my son Tyler. What's up, Tyler? Tyler, tell your dad we need to get together for lunch soon or after work or something, because we have I can tell him some funny stories. How's Amanda doing?
She's feeling a little bit better, but she medicine kicked in.
Oh, good. I only have Mary for a little while. Daughter's not feeling great. But she came to visit me for Valentine's Day because she's a wonderful girlfriend.
I came for dinner.
She came for food. She came for free food.
Free food, free wine.
Free food, free wine. Yeah, seriously, like I said, this was going to be a little, slightly more elaborate, this little setup. In fact, I was actually going to do it over in the kitchen with some martinis. But like I said, it was too crazy a day. It's Valentine's Day. So I said, let's not get nuts, you know. And I said, as opposed to standing behind the pseudo bar, why don't we just sit down? Do you know how long they usually film for? No, but I mean, a year is really for these kinds of movies. Well, it's funny. Back in the old days, they were cranking out a movie a year, so you know, it was a lot shorter filming. But yeah, I mean, I to get it knocked out in a year, post production and everything, that could happen. It will happen. I think Someone to Watch Over Me would have made a great Bond song remake. I'm not sure I know that one. I've heard the rumors of 25 killing off Bond. Yeah, I've heard the rumors of Bond 25 killing off Bond and the casting of a younger actor for 26. Could we be looking at a prequel for the post-Craig era? How would you feel about a young Bond movie? Yeah, that's an interesting one. I really hope they don't do anything stupid like that. I don't want to see the torch get passed to a younger actor or younger, you know, character who's going to play Bond going forward. Yeah, like I said, I kind of just hope they don't get silly. And the killing off Bond, yeah, I don't see that happening. Why would they kill off Bond? It does. I mean, again, that would sort of, you know, I joked before about the Sam Smith song being the pinnacle of the whiny, you know, angsty Bond. To full blown kill the character off would be even worse. Plus, if they do ever want to sell Bond as a franchise, let's say the Broccoli family decides that they want to full-blown sell the James Bond franchise to like Disney. Well, you can't do that if you killed the character off. You know, Disney doesn't want a big downer ending that they have to sort of come back from and try to figure out how they're gonna, you know, rejuvenate the series. So yeah, I'm not sure I buy that necessarily, and I'm hoping they don't get.
If they kill him off, do they have to change it to 008?
Right, is it actually going to be 008 if they kill off James Bond? Who's your favorite Bond and why? My favorite Bond. You know, for the last several years, I've said Daniel Craig. Primarily, I mean, Casino Royale. Quantum is a weak movie, but a great James Bond. You know, but I am kind of getting Craig fatigue, and I know that's sacrilege to a lot of people. But, you know, again, like Spectre, well, Skyfall was a weird one, because again, you're just getting used to, it was brand new James Bond in Casino, Quantum picks up right where that left off, so you had brand new James Bond for the first two, and now we have aging, decrepit Bond all of a sudden, who has already outstayed his usefulness. And then, then Spectre was just kind of like, oh, wow. Like, I mean, Spectre, it takes a lot of work to kind of pull the energy out of me. Like, even a bad Bond movie, you're kind of anxious for the next one, Spectre really kind of threw a damper on that a little bit. Where was I going with this? Yeah, so anyways, I don't know that Craig is still my super duper favorite. But again, Bond 25, let's hope they kind of correct course a little bit and give us a little more of the Craig that we kind of really fell for in Casino. I hate to say it, but Bourne is more realistic to much of the Bond series, but there are a few Bourne movies and only one actor. Yeah, exactly. And even that series, the first three, spectacular. I thought they could do no wrong, but the two that came after that, wow, were they rotten. Holy cow. Do you remember when we saw the Bourne movie in the drive-in?
That was horrible.
The Bourne Legacy? Let's see. They need to do something that fakes us all out. Totally agree. For example, Christoph Waltz saying that he won't sneak him in or something like that. I'm with that. They'd have to pull this up very well to not make it forced, but I always thought a cameo of a past Bond. That's funny because we were just talking about that recently about, one of the things I got coming up as a video is Skyfall Revisited, and we were talking about Connery coming back for the role of Kincaid, and in theory, I love it. In practice, I don't see how it would have worked because I kind of feel like all of a sudden now we'd all be going, is this the code word thing? Is this the code name thing? Like, is that the old Bond now who lives at the new Bond's house? Like, maybe this is like, maybe all the Bonds lived here. Like, it was like an orphanage for agents or something or other. So, yeah, I don't know if that really would have worked, like I said, in practice. Besides making more films, what do you like the good people at Eon to do to put the Bond brand out there to compete with other franchises? Consistency. Consistency is key. I kind of feel like, again, the idea that we have to sort of beg and plead with them to make another Bond film within 5 years of the last one, show some passion for this franchise, for God's sakes. 5 years is crazy.
Maybe they're getting tired of it.
Well, I think they are getting tired of it. And again, if they are, bring in fresh blood. Bring in some fresh blood. Kevin Feige at Marvel, not only is he a great producer, but he is a fan. He's a big-time comic fan. And I think that's why it works so well. So if you can get somebody, to head up the films who's a big Bond fan, and how hard is it to find a James Bond fan? Then there you go. Right?
Right.
Am I a nerd? Is that what?
Yeah.
Psylocke, now that Sony's no longer in the picture, I'll be curious to see what other companies show up with their phones and computers. So that's interesting. Yeah, so now, right. So not everybody in the Bond films is going to have a Sony Ericsson phone or a Sony laptop. Ellie thinks Roger Moore is greater than Daniel Craig. Moore is great. Moore is excellent, and I kind of feel like I have more respect now for Roger Moore than I ever did, because I kind of feel like when he passed, and we really had some time to reflect on the Moore years. Again, that was an era where people weren't so interested in the spy genre, of yesterday, and Moore, silly as they might be in the bigger scheme of things, he carried us through that time period. I don't think we'd have James Bond today if it wasn't for Roger Moore.
Yeah, but how would he have looked in the La Perlas?
How would Roger Moore have looked in the La Perlas? Yeah, that's true.
That's why Danielle, I did it again.
Seriously, what?
It's the second time. That's why Craig is my favorite.
That's why you're your favorite, because of the Perla trunks?
Yeah.
All right. See, this is why I have to go to the gym and start eating better, because my girlfriend is watching Daniel Craig in the La Perla swim trunks. They'd have to pull this off well, but what if Brosnan or an old Bond had a little cameo? Again, like you said, they'd have to really do it with some finesse. And again, that's one of those fan service moments that would sort of take you out of the film and kind of go, oh look, there's an old Bond actor, which is fine. Again, I could see it. Again, they'd have to sort of figure out how to pull it off a little bit. Are you laughing at my geekiness?
I am laughing at your geekiness.
Josiah, like, no more lousy Sony cell phones. Amen. I think Paramount uses Samsung in their films. There you go. Catharsis, welcome. I think the writers are in a creative rut. Yes. Bond usually changes with the times or follows the trends in actions. Well, yeah, and they still do that, I think. For better or for worse. I mean, Quantum, all of a sudden now we've got this Jason Bourne style action, which I don't think they know how to do. They sort of chase the trends, but don't really stop to consider that the people doing it know it better than we do. Dying of the Day, suddenly you saw these like goofy slow-mos and the speed up. Like there's a slow motion shot where his like coat flares out, trying to be all Matrix, and it's like, guys, don't just stop, don't do that stuff. Action films in general now are in a lull, as everything is either Liam Neeson revenge movies. Yeah. Why? My favorite shot is in, I think it was Taken 3, where they show him climbing a fence and they cut like 20 times in like 3 seconds. Like, it's the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen. Yeah, so stay away from that kind of stuff. Or comic book based, yeah. But again, seriously, like you watch Spectre and you can tell the filmmakers were watching Marvel and saying, wow, they do this whole cinematic universe thing. We need to kind of, but there's a reason why they do that. They don't just sort of do it for no reason. So, like, they sort of, again, you pick the wrong lesson somehow. I just found out the actual head of MI6 used to be called C. Now that's interesting. I feel like I've heard that before. Let's have some Bond fans help write scripts. I'm for that.
That's a great idea.
Seriously, I've always said, and I think David and I just said it this weekend when we were doing our live stream. Again, I kind of have this love-hate with Purvis and Wade, and a little more hate than love, I guess I might as well just say it. These are guys who were raised on like 80s action films, and it's like seriously, just here's an action scene at the end, just leave a clue that'll take us to the next scene. Do that action scene. Leave a clue for the next one. So you get these kind of like connect the dots stories. Quantum went right back to that. It was so irritating. It was so disappointing because Casino had such a great script, such a great story. Then Quantum, Bond, action scene. We found a dollar bill. It takes us to here. Bond goes there. Fight scene. He's walking out. Here's your briefcase with the next big old clue. Like, again, it's just so lazy. Like, I mean, you can write better stories than that. So yeah, not really a fan. Love is in the air. Has Joe ever requested a James Bond role play? Honey, are you gonna dress like
Who would you like me to dress as?
Oh, I don't know. Oh boy, I get to pick.
Yeah, you get to pick.
I get to pick. Does that mean you're gonna do whatever I pick? Wow.
Embarrassing.
What?
Wait a minute. Which Bond
Eric
would you be for me?
Well, I'd be Daniel Craig. Isn't it obvious? Eric says, "Put on the trunks, Joe." Yeah, I literally have them. I'll put them on right now.
Yeah, I've never seen you in them.
I have 2 sets of. I have the La Perla trunks, and I have the blue. Who makes those? Oh, I'm gonna lose my Bond card. The one from Skyfall. Have never put on either one.
I think they're still in the plastic wrapper.
I think the one is in the plastic wrapper. Let's see. Seems like both of us have speculated about this a bit. How about a hotel suspense scene scanning for bugs? Thank you, Percy Gates. Yeah. Not sure how they'd go about it these days, but it'd be cool. Well, I think Brian Aboyan, see you, man. Let's talk soon. So yeah, I mean, they absolutely positively need one of those scenes where Bond checks into a hotel, looks behind the mirror, looks around for the bugs. I mean, the technology might be a little different. He probably would have devices trying to pick up anything, giving out a signal, such and such. Skyfall Trunks, Orla Bar Brown. Thank you, Josiah Alexia. And I said I'm going to lose my Bond card for this. yes, I mean, like, I don't, again, why would we not have a scene like that? See, I mean, again, they're so wrapped up in trying to make, Alan Hellburn, what's up, partner?
Oh, hi, Alan.
Um,
Hi
yeah.
to Dorothy.
Yeah, hi to Dorothy, Alan. I hope she's not yelling at you for me once again ruining
Valentine's Day.
for you. I've become the bane of this poor woman's existence. She's like, you're really... Yeah, so I mean, again, they're so busy trying to make action movies and trying to keep up with trends that they kind of lose sight of what they're actually doing. And that's why I always say, just go back to, good night, Eric, happy Valentine's Day. Yes, I mean, they have to go back to realizing that this is a James Bond film. And I mean, seriously, whoever's writing the next one should really just sit down and do a marathon. Like, just do a marathon and watch all the movies. And it sounds corny, but I really think, like, you really need to go back and remember, you know, what makes James Bond movies unique. And, you know, get back to doing that. Stop trying to make Marvel movies. Stop trying to make... I mean, even... when I saw Fallout, when the Mission Impossible movie came out, I said, this is really... You know, they really need to watch this and really up their game. But, again, I'm also nervous that they're going to watch it and say, okay, well, let's just make a Mission Impossible. I don't want that either. So...
Can I have Valentine's Day back now?
Can you have Valentine's Day back? Yes. What does that mean?
It's time to go.
You have to go? All right. I think I got her for 1 hour. That was it. She's going to cut out. I'll keep going.
No, I'm going to skip out.
I'll lock you out. Alan Hellburn said, not yet. She says hi. Dorothy says hello. All right. So you're going to go?
Yeah, I'm going to go.
All right. Mary's saying good night.
Good night, everybody.
She has a sick daughter to get
Happy
back home
Valentine's
to.
Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, Chris. I love you. I will be right back. Can't see me smooching my girl for Valentine's Day.
I'm sorry, sweetie.
No, don't be silly. Thank you, baby. This was fun. Did you have fun?
I did, very much. Where's my shoes?
You do again?
Yeah, can you grab my shoes?
Matt says good night. Chris says good night.
Good night, guys. All right, you go back to them. I'll talk to you later.
Happy Valentine's Day. Hey, do you want to take my car?
Oh, yes. Here, then take my keys.
You're supposed to.
I'm just going to carry it right now.
How about you?
Yeah, grab that for me.
It was fun.
Thank you for dinner.
You're welcome. Careful. Oh shit. Man, come get your phone. Your phone. No rush, don't fall. It's okay. Thank you. Love you, thank you, babe. Okay. Did everybody leave because my girl's not here anymore? Where were we? Thoughts on David Leitch, John Wick, Atomic Blonde. That's a good one. That's a really interesting question because I really, really like those movies. He's an excellent director. Again, can he do Bond? Probably. Again, I never like to discriminate against a director who hasn't done Bond-like things before. So yeah, I don't see why not. I actually, now that you mentioned it, I would love to give him a shot. His action, boom, spot on, really good stuff. Let's see. Hopefully they've had enough time to write a good script. Matt, I tell you, I feel the same way, and not only that, I find it so frustrating. Like when Quantum came out, and everybody sort of cried about the writer's strike. I'm like, guys, how many years do you know a Bond movie's gonna come out? Make like have scripts in the hall, like have scripts ready, that you already worked on. They should have a stack of 5 scripts at any time they could do with minor adjustments. Just do that. I don't, whatever. That pink shirt is looking much like the You Only Live Twice. Nice touch, thank you. I swear to you, I really, the Bond movies really did kind of let me go with pink shirts once in a while. I never would have done that normally. I tend to always gravitate towards blue shirts. Mike Poplowski, what's up, partner? Good to see you. Yeah, I tend to gravitate towards blue, and it's kind of a bad habit because honestly, again, I don't have the fashion card that a lot of these guys do, and which I should, because again, I mean, I'm being James Bond. I should really be doing, getting a little more, I don't want to say daring. That's not the word I want. But taking more risks as far as clothing goes. But so yeah, my pink is this is as risky as as I'll probably get. Michael Poplowski, love your channel. Keep up the great work. Thank you, my friend. Bond 25 can't come soon enough. Chris Robinson, never saw Atomic Blonde. Dude, you would like it. I'm sure you would really like that movie. You should check it out. I don't know if it's, like, again, I don't know if it's a great espionage movie, per se. A lot of it is very good, and honestly, takes place in the early 80s, so it's kind of right around the fall of the Berlin Wall, or early mid-80s, I guess. It's got a great 80s soundtrack, and it's kind of like that European 80s music. Oh, wow, is it good. Atomic Blonde was great. That ended up on my top 10 the year it came out. Incidentally, by the way, if you guys are not watching my other channel, I have another channel, another podcast called Reviews Without Remorse, and it's me and my other friend Dave I do videos with, not this friend Dave, and we do movie reviews. So if you're into movies, movie reviews, you want to check that out, it's pretty cool. And yeah, Atomic Blonde was way high on my top 10 for that year, so it was pretty cool. Do you think it'll be an original script or book-based? Yeah, it'll be an original script. They're definitely going to stick with apparently they're going to keep going with, the new director said he wants to keep going with that arc that Craig has been on. And again, I had mixed feelings about that, because I'm thinking, you mean like Skyfall into Spectre, we're going to keep going that course? But again, I feel like as long as they could just kind of correct a little bit. There are some films that, are so good, and I'm talking about sequels, like like a franchise. Sometimes they're so good that they literally make what came before it better. Couple cases in point. If you saw Creed 2, and if you haven't, I highly recommend it. I'm not spoiling anything by saying that Ivan Drago comes back. The son of Ivan Drago is challenging Adonis Creed. So essentially, it's sort of a sequel to Rocky IV. Now, Rocky IV, again, great film for a teenager in the 80s. I loved it. Loved all the Rockies, except for 5. And Rocky IV, boy, was it great. But it was the bubble gum. It was the fluff one. It was just for fun, not as serious as the other ones. So when you thought the serious Creed movies were going to go into that territory, it was like, well, really? So, but yeah, Creed 2 is so good, it actually sort of elevates Rocky 4. It's, again, see Creed 2 if you haven't seen it. Rogue One. I really liked Rogue One a lot. Now, again, I hate The Last Jedi, and I'm not excited at all for Episode 9. Rogue One, I thought was a great film, and not that it needed it, but it went back and retconned what some people saw as a plot hole from the original Star Wars. I mean, again, Star Wars is like a flawless movie. It is like a perfect film. There were some people who said, but the Death Star was really easy to blow up. Rogue One, not only was it a great movie on its own, but it addressed that and gave you an explanation. And I thought that was terrific. So that was a long-winded way of saying that I think Bond 25 can be a great film and can do something to elevate the films that came before. It's a tall order, but we'll see. Let's see. I feel like Craig is the only thing holding up the series due to the writing in several of his films. Again, it's frustrating too because seriously, Craig is here. Here's Craig's first, Craig's second, Craig's third, Craig's fourth. It's like seriously, if I had to, and I've done this, if I take all 24 films and like try to put them in order, and actually it's funny, I just did it today because I watched Calvin Dyson's video doing all of the Bonds in order. So I literally sat there and sort of did my own. And again, 2 of Craig's are way up at the top, 2 of the Craig's are way down at the bottom. So, I'll say this for Craig, he hasn't had a mediocre movie yet. They're either great or they're not. So, I think, Craig the actor is doing a lot to keep the franchise going, but again, he can't rescue some bad scripts. And people who don't know how to write or direct Craig, like when you watch Spectre, there are some moments where you hear him saying things, like again, when he's in the car and he hits the button and Frank Sinatra comes out and he goes, "No." Really? like come on. Doesn't that sound not good? The cuckoo when he's saying cuckoo in the boardroom meeting. And then later when they're about to show Mr. White get killed and he kind of flips out saying shut it off and he screeches shut it off. Again, he needs a little direction. He needs good writers to give him good stuff. He can't just do everything. So he does. Craig is great, but I feel that he needs good scripts. He can't rescue a bad film. Who do you Daniel Gomez? What's up, buddy? Who do you want to see sing? Jesus, I can't talk anymore. Too much wine. Who do you want to see sing the theme song? That's a great question too. A couple come to mind. Goldfrapp is a band, and the only reason why I'm even saying Goldfrapp necessarily. Let's see. Did I have a little? I think I froze for a second there. Sorry. Yeah, Goldfrapp comes to mind, and the only reason why I'm thinking them is because I think they were rumored for Casino, but it didn't actually happen. Who else? I mean, again, I feel like you're just asking me what kind of music I like. Portishead, Radiohead, Goldfrapp, stuff like that. That's kind of what I would like to see for Bond. But again, I'm not married to that idea either because they probably need somebody who's a little more, like, that's kind of a niche, those kind of bands are not for everyone. So maybe you need like an Adele to, the masses kind of like a little bit more. And I do too. I don't mean to say that disparagingly. Let's see. I haven't seen it, but I think Fukunaga's Beasts of No Nation is very Casino Royale title sequence-esque. It's on Netflix. All right, I will definitely check it out, Matt Paulson. Percy Gates, big on the blue too, especially that Navy Sunspell. Yeah, Navy Sunspell, love it. Used to wear it all the time. Kind of, gotta get back into that. I hope there are some casino gambling scenes. Chris Jow, am I saying your name right? Good to see you, buddy. Thank you for joining. Would love to see some more casino/gambling scenes. Me too, big time. Psylocke, agree on Rogue One. Very well done. I love how they made it visually look. Oh my God. Can I tell you, Rogue One, that was like my favorite film that year, and a lot of people didn't go for it. I loved it. And honestly, in one sentence, it was the only film that had come out since the 80s that really made me feel like I was watching a Star Wars movie. Like, when I saw some of the faces in the ships, and now you probably know this already, but they used some alternate takes from the attack on the Death Star from Episode 4, from the original Star Wars. So when some of those actors were showing up again, I was losing my mind. I was like, are you serious? I felt like I was a kid again watching the original Star Wars. I really flipped out. I thought all of it was really well done. Very underrated film. Michael Bible. I'm assuming that, yeah, there you go. Daniel Gomez, Michael Bublé, or Florence from Florence and the Machine. I don't know that band. That's interesting. I'll check them out. Maroon 5 just did the Super Bowl. Yep. Very lackluster Super Bowl. Everything about it, frankly. Gotta sign off for the night. Awesome, Steam Brother. Thank you, Percy Gates. Yeah, I'm gonna wind down myself too. 9:16. We've been going for about an hour and 15, and my camera is gonna lose power soon. Do you have faith Linus Sandgren can make Bond 25 look amazing like Skyfall? That's a great question. I don't know him. Skyfall, that's a tough act to follow. That cinematographer was really, really good. And again, it's hard to get such quality people to work on a Bond film. So that was a feather in their cap to get him for Skyfall. And I loved the look of Skyfall. And again, how they followed that up with Spectre and just everything, just washed everything in that yellow, that putrid yellow. I don't know what they were thinking. So I really hope we get back to some vibrant color in this one. So I'm going to wind it down. Bond Armory, good night, brother. Keep up the great work. See you at Spyscape. Looking forward to that one. A couple guys on here. Psylocke, Bond Armory. I'm looking forward to Spyscape. Again, that DC weekend was spectacular. So I am totally looking forward to that one. Matt Paulson, thanks for the night. Great conversation. Thank you. My plan is to do these. I'm actually thinking about doing this a little more often. Maybe even weekly, kind of like on a lower scale. But I am definitely considering doing these once every 2 months, kind of counting down to Bond 25. On the 14th of, like this is February 14th, so the next one would be April 14th, so on and so forth. So I'm definitely going to do it every 2 months. I might do a weekly video going forward. I'm kicking around this idea. I don't want to oversaturate people with stuff. But then again, I've never had anybody complain that I'm putting out too much stuff. I'm usually, slacking a little bit. So just in the year coming up, I might do a weekly kind of what's going on this week sort of stuff. Been doing commentary videos. People have liked them. And there hasn't really been like super news. Like I did commentaries when they got rid of The Last Director, and I did one when Fukunaga came in. I did one when Daniel announced he was going to do Bond 25. The more the better. Thanks, Matt. Yeah, I'm thinking so too. I think I'm gonna start putting out some more stuff. And I was gonna do a commentary when they announced Léa Seydoux was coming back, but I was like, is it enough to do a whole video on? Again, she's back. What does it mean? We don't know. We can all speculate, but I really don't have anything intelligent to offer other than what we all know. This was a lot of fun. See you at Spyscape. Joe Psylocke, thank you, my friend. Thank you for joining me on this wonderful holiday. And I will see you at Spyscape. Looking forward to it. So yeah, I'll definitely do one of these in 2 months. Probably, like I said, a little weekly wrap-up video. Not a live chat, but just a quick little drive to work video. Interesting review of Spectre by Haphazard Stuff. Oh, nice. I'm going to check that out. I like him. Haphazard Stuff is another one you guys should check out. He does really good Bond reviews. Very insightful. Just came out and you might find it interesting. Called Another Year Without James Bond. Yeah, right? Another year without James Bond. But at least we have a date. We're counting down. So, all right, guys. I'm going to wrap it up before my camera dies. So, thank you for being here. Again, this is my first solo live stream, my first attempt at doing this, so thank you for coming and joining the discussion. Love these conversations. I promise the next one will not be right smack in the middle of a holiday where you should be paying attention to your lovely wife or spouse, like Alan Hilburn and Chris Robinson, all you guys. Chris, Matt, Alan, love it. Thanks for coming, guys, and we'll keep it going, all right? So I will talk to you all soon. I'll be here again, all right? And I got, by the way, just today, the Live and Let Die review that I did with David Zaritsky at the Bond Experience came out. Check it out. Again, next week I've got a video coming out. It's how to podcast. If that interests you in any way, if you want to get into the game of podcasting or audio, this is for you. So check that out. It'll be next week for sure. All right, guys. Again, thanks again. Thanks for coming. Happy Valentine's Day. The countdown to